Today I'm talking about my Fuji lens lineup. Stick around. So one of my favorite spots here in Marin County is the Point Reyes National Seashore. I'm actually at the Bear Valley Trail, and I'm at a meadow that's about 2 miles from the parking lot. It's a beautiful spot. I love it here. I come here often. I think I did one video here a long time ago, one of my first few videos that I did, and just thought I'd come back here for this video. So yeah, pretty amazing spot. Okay, so let's talk about my current lens lineup. I have 4 lenses currently, and I have the 18-55 kit lens, which is on this camera right now. I have the 56mm 1.2. I have the 10-24 f4 and the 35 f2. And it's working out so far for me. There's only one lens that I am missing that I really want, and that's the 50-140 2.8. And I would shoot everything from portraits to events with that. But for right now, I'm actually doing pretty well with the lenses that I have. So let's talk about what I use each lens for. So obviously the kit lens is kind of an all-around lens. I use that for when I go on vacation, and I just want to have one lens and one body, and the 18-55 is perfect. It is a variable aperture, so I'm not going to get, amazing bokeh and amazing portraits, but it does cover, the fun family portraits wherever we are. And I've got the 18-55 to work with at f2.8 at the 18mm, and then when you go out to the 55, it's up to a 4 is the maximum aperture that you can have, or largest opening. It's a great lens. I love this lens. It's better than most kit lenses. In my opinion, I've used Nikon and Canon kit lenses, and I don't really care for them very much. They're plasticky and don't really last that long. But this seems like a substantial and well made lens. So next up is the 35 f2. Some people may disagree with me, but this works out to be the nifty 50. This is a 50mm lens on a full frame camera when you do the math from a crop sensor. So it does everything that a 50mm lens can do. And I use it for everything from street photography to actually portraits sometimes. I did a photo shoot with a model where I used nothing but the 35 f2, and I absolutely love that lens. It's a fast focus lens. It's spot on. Whatever I shoot with it, I get really good results. And that's one of my favorite lenses. It reminds me of my Nikon FE2 and my 50mm that I had on it. I shot with that camera, actually still have that camera, shoot with it on occasion, but I shot with it for about 25 years, and the 50mm is what I had on it, so it's that perfect focal length that I absolutely love. So next up is a 56 1.2R. This amounts to about an 84 or 85mm on a full frame camera. It's the perfect portrait lens. I'm doing headshots, senior portraits, and figure photography, art figure photography as well. And it's amazing. It's a little soft to focus, which I like, and it's also not real fast to focus. I don't really need a fast focus lens when I'm doing that kind of portraiture. If I'm doing environmental portraiture, then I'm using a different lens. I'm probably either going to rent the 50-140 or I'm going to use the 35 f2. The 56 1.2R gives that great, beautiful bokeh. That blurred background is just perfect. And I use it for some B-roll as well for video. It was a lot of fun to use that, and I'll link to a sample of that in one of my videos. And last but not least, the Fujifilm 10-24 f4. Do I just let these results speak for themselves? What a great lens. I haven't had the issues with focus hunting that a lot of people talk about online. I actually have it attached to the Fuji X-T2 right now, and you can look back at a lot of my videos. The last, I think, like 10 or 12 videos were shot with this lens, and there's some focus hunting, but not a ton. I'm really happy with the results I'm getting. and I'm looking forward to pushing, the limits of the landscape capabilities of this lens, which is, what it's really designed for. I love heading up to the eastern slope of the Sierras as well as Yosemite to make images, and I'm excited about heading up later this year to see what I can create with this lens. So I wanted to come into my studio and go ahead and wrap things up. Obviously I've got a new addition. The Rode NT USB is a microphone I've been using for quite a while, and I've got that on a boom pole now. So I'm really curious to hear what you think of the sound. I'm not using the Rode Video Micro. That's camera top's a little bit too far away when I'm shooting in the studio. And I think I've fixed the focus issues that I had prior. I think I've got a little bit better focus this time and doing it manually instead of letting it do it auto and hunting a little bit. In the studio, it's a little bit different than when I'm out and about. The focus isn't quite as good here for whatever reason. It might be the lighting situation. Who knows? So let's get back to the lens lineup. What's my favorite lens? You're probably wondering. The 35mm f2. That is definitely my favorite lens, probably because of this camera that's over my shoulder, which is the Nikon FE2 with a 50mm attached to it. The 35mm on the Fuji is an equivalent to a 50mm, like I talked about before. It's a great focal length. I absolutely love it. It's what I learned on, and it's my go-to lens for, when I want to have fun. I want to take my camera out and just make some fun images. So yeah, that's my favorite lens. What lens am I missing? The 50-140 f2.8. That's kind of a dream lens for me. I would like to do some event work as well as some portraits. There are different kinds of portraits that I can do with that lens. I'd be pretty excited to get a hold of one. The price is a little high. I'm either looking at a used one or who knows. We'll see what's in the cards for me in the future. I'm definitely going to rent it so that I can go ahead and test it out and make sure it's absolutely the right lens for me. I do that with all my lenses. I go ahead and rent them before I buy them. That way I know that it is a right fit for my type of photography. Everybody's lens lineup is going to be a little bit different. Mine's not going to look exactly like yours. Everybody likes to photograph things differently, and you got to make sure that you've got the right lenses for you. So when people say, what lens should I get? What should I do for this, that, and the other thing? First, figure out what your style is and what you're interested in and what you want to accomplish. And then really think about the lenses that you want to get and rent them. Try them out. Rent the 56 1.2 and do some portraits with it, or whatever it is you want to try with it. And that way you're not, you don't own it and you don't have to spend the huge amount of money to get it. And you can still figure out if it's going to work for you. And that's what I would do, and that's what I have done. So that's what I recommend. But that is the one lens that I'm definitely saving up for and hoping to add to the arsenal, so to speak. I'm also looking at the X-T30 for video. I may replace my X-T2 with the X-T30 and then potentially get the X-T3. I still do the majority of my client work with my X-T1. I know that sounds nuts. It's a 16.3 megapixel camera. It's old, but you know what? It does exactly what I want it to do. It's a camera that I know like the back of my hand, and I absolutely love it. That's all I can say. I know some people online weren't happy with me when I said that, and they said, you should get the newest gear and your clients are going to suffer because you don't have the newest gear. I don't believe that's true. I think if you can make amazing images with whatever it is you have, then that's what you need to do. And nobody should tell you otherwise. It's your art. It's what you create. And unless you're getting complaints from clients saying they hate the work that you're doing for them, is there a reason to switch? Do you really need to move up to a more expensive camera and lens situation just to have it? I don't think so. I think you can try new things out and see if you like the results that you're getting and then go for it. Or if there's something that you can't do because you don't have a particular lens or camera, then yeah, it makes sense to upgrade. But other than that, shoot with what works for you. And that's my advice for you. So once again, my name is John Weinberg with Photo4a.com. You're never too old to start something new. Till next time. Take care.